Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Red Pack Striking channel. In this video today, we are going to talk about the coming heavyweight clash in the UFC between Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane. It is a much anticipated matchup ever since Francis Ngannou has stepped down and has been stripped of his heavyweight title. This should be interesting, as both heavyweight fighters have been known to be elite strikers in their class, and knowing Jon Jones as the GOAT in the UFC and Gane as #1 contender in this division, it'd be interesting to note and to try to break down the strengths and weaknesses of these fighters against each other. In today's video, we will try to quickly discuss the strengths and the weaknesses and how each fighter might stack up between their skills, their ground game, and their striking capabilities. So join us, and today we shall see who is your best bet at UFC 285. Bones and Gane will lock horns for the vacant heavyweight championship. This announcement came following news that then champion Francis Ngannou has been stripped of his title and released from his contract. This fight will mark the former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones' first octagon appearance in over 3 years. During this time away from the cage, Bones has focused heavily on weightlifting to bulk up and have a more powerful heavyweight frame going up into this division. And we shall take note of this bulking up and having a powerful heavyweight frame. Now, Jon Jones has been known to conquer. He has been invincible and unstoppable in all these divisions. And so bulking up in weight plus the ring rust might prove to be a tough road to conquer for Jon Jones. But being known as the GOAT, or the greatest of all time in the MMA and UFC history, this, I think, shall not be impossible for Jon Jones. Meanwhile, Ciryl Gane last fought at the UFC Paris back in September of 2022. In that fight, he defeated and knocked out Tai Tuivasa in the third round of this action-packed main event. Recent observations from Gane have left many thinking if he's cut out for the next month's fight, considering he has some hand issues, and he himself admitted he had low volume of training and would only train when the fight is close. We shall also notice and point out Gane's poor wrestling capabilities against Francis Ngannou last year. Against a more seasoned wrestler and a ground and pound master like Jon Jones, Gane could be in a lot of trouble. Jones has been known to outclass wrestlers like Daniel Cormier and even fighters as Dos Santos and Reyes. However, Bones will have to close the distance against a deadly Muay Thai practitioner in Gane to get the takedown. Again, this shall prove to be an obstacle for Jones, as Gane has been known to be a very elite striker and Muay Thai champion, and has also been known to use his distance and range into his advantage. Jones is probably, in my humble opinion, not gonna go to take down and wrestle Gane right away. In my humble opinion, Jones will try to maximize his cardio capabilities, his reach, and his striking advantage. And also because he has developed a lot of weight, no fighter in his right mind would try to take down another heavy fighter in the first opening rounds or the onset of the fight. But if Jon Jones gets a clean takedown, he might make Gane carry his own weight and make it very difficult for Gane to get up back on his feet against Jon Jones. But again, he has got to cut the distance, get the correct within striking range, and close the distance against a real elite kickboxer and Muay Thai striker. This is one of the major obstacles that Jon Jones has to encounter in this fight. We can further elaborate that even the smallest mistake from Gane could be enough for Jon Jones to take advantage of and capitalize. Once he takes down Gane and it goes to the ground, we might see a huge advantage in Jones' way. All Gane needs is to also catch that one slight mistake in Jones' advantage. So we are thinking that Gane might be too careful in this fight, knowing of Jones' angular striking and out of nowhere elbows, knees, and takedown capabilities. So knowing that Gane could be always on the defense or would be up on his toes in the first few minutes or the first rounds of the fight. This could be to Jon Jones' advantage. Now, this highly anticipated match between Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane is right around the corner on March 4, Saturday. This event is expected to restore the order in the heavyweight title picture and invite people back again to watch the UFC ever since Ngannou's departure. Surely, it might be disappointing not to see the Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones heavyweight clash. Ngannou defending the heavyweight title and Jon's going up against it is always an exciting thing that would keep us on our toes every time. But as always, we all have to move on, and in that sense, we can do pretty well. And there is no doubt that the number one contender in Ciryl Gane belongs in this title bout. The Bond Gamin has only lost to Francis Ngannou during his octagon career and has beaten Derek Lewis, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and Tai Tuivasa convincingly, although still the X factor and the edge comes from Jon Jones. This former light heavyweight champion has never fought as a heavyweight, and this is new grounds for Jones. He's also been out of action again for 3 years and might have developed ring rust. However, at his peak, we all know he is the GOAT of mixed martial arts. He ruled over the light heavyweight division with an iron fist for majority of the period between 2010 and 2020, and he never truly lost a fight inside the octagon against quality opponents. But can he succeed at a heavyweight against one of the toughest possible matches he has today? It is a fair question everyone might be able to not answer. Jon's success at light heavyweight was based around a number of things. Firstly, he was tall at 6'4" and possessed an 84.5 reach advantage, and he tended to enjoy this advantage and use his range over most of his foes in all his fights. Second, his wrestling was ridiculously underratedly good, to the point that former wrestler Olympian DJ Cormier couldn't compete with him in that area. And third, Jones always has an underrated toughness and durability. We have seen him get hurt, get groggy, but no one had seemed to knock him out. It seems hard for any of his opponents to hurt him, no matter how hard or cleanly they hit him. Remarkably, Jones will still have a slight range advantage over Gane. Despite Gane being an inch taller, Bones has a longer reach. Whether he can make the most of it is another thing we should only question. Gane is a really elite and fantastic striker, capable of keeping his opponents at the end of his kicks and punches. And Jones, if you can remember, struggled with the range of Gustafsson in 2013 and Miocic as well, despite him enjoying a reach advantage over both opponents. And when you add the fact that Gane will likely be his hardest hitting opponent, he may not be as durable as he was when he was fighting more regularly at a lighter weight. It could be easy to imagine that Bones could be struggling in this area. However, Jones still has that awesome, underrated wrestling game, and it's fair to say that Gane did not look good in that department against Ngannou. Our question in mind today is, could Gane have improved his takedown defense in the year since that bout with Ngannou? Absolutely, probably. But Jones has taken far more elite wrestlers down anytime with ease in his past fights, and it's quite hard to imagine him getting into being taken down against Gane. Overall, a lot here depends on how good Jones looks after such a long period of absence and how well his body adapts to a heavier weight. If he's physically good, his wrestling should pull him through despite taking some heavy blows from Gane. While this doesn't sound like the biggest fight on paper, it could actually be a historic one in some ways. Remember, most people are clamoring for Jon Jones' return ever since he was caught using pads 3 years ago. But again, all that's been cleared now and has moved on, and we are now in the middle of this amazing fight between two awesome Hall of Famers. So, who is your best bet on winning this Saturday, March 4, UFC 285? The return of Jon Jones versus the Frenchman, #1 contender Ciryl Gane. Do you think Jones will be able to grab the heavyweight title, or you think Gane is coming to spoil the party? I would appreciate all your comments, everyone. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you.